my name is Taylor Smith, aka the Career Coach, and today I'm talking about professional dress. So whether you are having an upcoming interview, career fair, etc., and you just want to make sure that you have the appropriate attire on, then this video is 100% dedicated to you. So keep on watching and we'll go over all that information and more. Again, my name is Taylor Smith, the Career Coach, and I help college students and professionals get noticed by recruiters, stand out as a top candidate, and get offers for paid internships and full-time opportunities. If any of that resonates with you, then you are in the right place. And yeah, let's go ahead and get back to our video. Alrighty, so before we dive a little bit deeper of what exactly is business professional attire, I want to differentiate the different types of business attire. So first we have casual. This is something, if you work for like a tech company, this is kind of sometimes wearing like your flip-flops, a t-shirt, etc. So some companies don't really have too many requirements on what the attire is, but this is the most laid back. Next, we have business casual. So this is what most companies adopt, I would say, for their day-to-day wear. So this could be something like this. This could be like a nice blouse and some slacks. This could be a polo with some slacks or even some nice jeans. And then also some nice like closed-toed shoes, sometimes even allowing some women to wear like some nice heels, pumps, etc. So that's kind of like the business casual attire. Next, you have business professional. So this is what this video is dedicated to, which we're going to talk about in a lot more detail. So this is going to be your professional attire that you're going to actually wear to an interview, possibly even a career fair, and maybe some other events, depending on what the culture is at the company that you're interested in. And then lastly, there is business formal. So this is if you were to attend some kind of award show, some kind of banquet, etc. You're going to make sure that you're wearing really nice evening wear to attend these different events. So just to reiterate, business professional attire is usually worn during an interview or a career fair, sometimes even special types of presentations depending on the company. But regardless, these first two scenarios, if you have an interview or a career fair, unless it is specified by someone specifically that the attire is business casual or what have you, you should assume that you should come dressed business professional in a suit. So we are going to talk more about that as far as men and women in more detail, but I do want to reiterate this because oftentimes I see too many people dressed a little too casually as they attend different career fairs or even interviews nowadays. So even though the recruiter that you're talking to, they may be in a polo and jeans and tennis shoes, or I've even seen a lot of companies nowadays just wear t-shirts and jeans and tennis shoes, which is extremely casual. But just because we are just comfortable like that, remember, we already have the jobs. So you are the one who are supposed to impress us. Even though this may not be the attire that you wear day in and day out on the job, it is expected that you come best dressed to your interview with this specific attire on. So we'll continue with the next few clips where I'll talk more about how this differentiates for men and women. All right, fellas, you guys are up first. So as far as business professional attire for men, you want to make sure that you are wearing a suit head to toe. So this is a tailored suit. I know if you are pressed for some coins, that's okay. You can make sure that you just have a good fitting suit. So it's not super baggy. It's not way too tight. It fits your body correctly. It's the correct size for you. But this suit, you want to make sure that it is neutral color. So this is going to be like a black, a dark gray, or a navy. Notice I didn't say brown. I didn't say a light gray Easter suit. I didn't say a baby blue that you may have worn to the prom in the 80s. I don't know, but either way, these are the colors that you want to stick to. You don't want to wear a tuxedo. That is important. You want to make sure that you are actually wearing a business suit. And you probably want to avoid all the different patterns and stuff that are pretty cool and fun. You can wear these more on the job once you get the position, depending on the type of work that you do and the requirements of it. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend that for an interview. You want to be a little bit boring as far as business professional goes. So it's not necessarily a fashion show unless it depends on the different type of scenario that you're looking for. But I say if you're looking for a job and you're trying to stay business professional, I would try to avoid the patterns when possible and just kind of keep it simple and basic. As far as the shirt that you would wear underneath, so you're going to wear a button-up shirt. You aren't wearing a a vest. Like I said, we're not wearing a tuxedo. You're making sure that you're wearing a suit that best fits you. But as far as the shirt underneath, you want to make sure that actually you can wear a t-shirt underneath, so this prevents like any sweating or perspiration that you might build up, especially if you get really nervous during interviews, etc. So this is going to help, but also just make sure that your shirt stays very clean and pressed. Make sure that you actually get your clothes dry cleaned. It can go a long way. Again, if you're pressed for coins, you can just wash these in the washer on cold and just hang dry. But really just spending the money to dry clean, it's only a couple bucks. It's actually pretty inexpensive when you look into it, and that will be probably a better option for you in order to make sure that your clothes look very pristine and not wrinkly, etc. But again, for the shirts, you want to try to keep these neutral colors. So this is like a white, possibly a light gray, a light blue, different colors like that. You want to keep it simple. You don't really want to wear like a bright red or green, something that's going to grab your attention a little too much. You probably don't want to wear yellow underneath either. So you just want to keep it as really simple, cool colors like that as far as the attire underneath your blazer. Also, when it comes to your blazer, I know that, well, not necessarily your blazer, but your suit, I know that it's really popular and in to have these pants that are a little short, so it kind of looks like you're flooding, if anyone knows what that means. I don't know if that's an old term now, but basically you want to make sure that these are appropriate length as far as your pants go. We're not trying to make this into a fashion show like I kind of mentioned before. You want to kind of keep it pretty simple and make sure that you're also wearing appropriate socks as well. So we're not wearing any of the funky cool colored socks with all the different patterns, etc. We're just keeping it basic. So this is going to be like any blacks, blues, maybe brown, depending on your suit and the colors that you have going on. I know I said to avoid like a light brown suit, but you want to keep your socks pretty simple. You don't want anything crazy. You can have some lines on it. You can have a couple patterns, but we don't want anything crazy. No cartoon characters. Same thing with the tie, right? So whether you're wearing a traditional tie or you're wearing a bow tie, make sure that it's also very simple. So not a lot of patterns. We're not going crazy there. We're keeping it very simple and basic colors again. Alrighty guys, so now we're going to talk about accessories. So when it comes to accessories, you want to keep things very simple like we mentioned before. So first and foremost, let's talk about jewelry. So as far as earrings, you want to keep it to a stud. So if you have any baby hoops, any dangly earrings, etc., you probably want to just go ahead and remove these. I know individualism is huge. We're not taking away who you are as a person, but we're just removing it this one time so that you can actually get the job. If your job allows you to wear them, then that's something that you can do afterwards or a conversation you can have. But I would say for the interview, you want to try to keep it very simple. Also for the studs, you don't want these to be larger than a quarter. You want to keep them pretty small, and these can be like little diamond jewels. These could also be pearls or just something that's really simple and basic, not going to like the Claire's clearance where they have all the colors and different patterns and designs. Although these are fun, they're probably not the most appropriate. As well as other jewelry, as far as like necklaces and chains, you probably want to keep these to a minimum. So if you can hide these underneath your shirt, that's probably going to be the best thing, or you just remove it unless it's just something very simple. But that would be my word of advice as far as that. As well as any bracelets or watches, you can also probably remove these. If it is a watch, I wouldn't have something that's super blinged out and blinding. I would wear something just very basic and simple that matches your outfit, of course, as far as the business professional attire goes. And also just to reiterate, for the piercings, any other piercings you might have on your face, you may just want to go ahead and remove this one time around for the interview. Depending on the type of position you have and the type of work you do, you may be able to wear in next steps, but let's just focus on removing it this one time. Alrighty guys, so as far as your shoes, we don't want to have the super shiny shoes. We don't want to have the shoes with all the different studs and glitter and glistening and all that extra stuff. We want to keep it very simple. So these are like blacks and brown shoes that are just really simple. I don't know how to explain it much more than that, but I think you guys know what I'm talking about as far as the shoes go. Now next, I also want to talk about hair. So hair, you want to make sure that it's just very simple, maybe even traditional hairstyle. So, you know, we want to avoid any mohawks when possible. We also want to avoid just anything that I guess isn't normally traditional. And if you are African American like I am, our hair is professional, okay? Don't let anyone tell you that. But if you do decide to wear your hair that's not just, you know, like a fade or a clean cut, my recommendation to you is just to have your hair neat and clean. So make sure that it's kept out of your face. If you wear braids or dreads, then maybe you may consider putting it in a ponytail or some kind of bun in the back of your head so that it's out of your face and it's just very neat and clean. If you get an edge up, just make sure that you get that beforehand so everything just looks really nice and clean. I have worn my Afro puff before. I have worn curls to interviews and different presentations before, so I'm definitely not against that, but just want to reiterate that and let you guys know how you can prepare and maybe feel a little bit more comfortable going into an interview as far as your hair goes. Alrighty, ladies, so it's your turn. So first we're going to start off with the clothing. So again, you are probably wearing some kind of suit. So whether this is a pantsuit or a skirt suit, similar to the guys, you want to make sure that these are very neutral colors. So these are going to be like blacks, dark gray, navy. We're not wearing a hot pink. We're not wearing a baby blue. We're not wearing white, light gray, light brown, etc. We're just keeping it very basic. Okay, ladies? You can wear the 3/4 sleeves blazers. I see those a lot, but I would make sure that it's actually a business suit and it's not just like a cute casual one that you might wear to the office depending on the type of work that you do. I know that these can be a little harder to find. Maybe in the future I'll have a video where I talk about different places that you can actually search for clothes, but this is the type of attire that you want to make sure that you're wearing. That said, what do you wear underneath the suit? So this could also be a blouse, again, like I mentioned before, but this blouse, you want to make sure that is appropriate. So you want to make sure that it is not showing your girls off, right? You want to make sure that is appropriate. If it is one that cuts down a little bit and you may be blessed in this area, then you can, a quick trick that I've learned is that you can actually use a safety pin and you can actually pin it a little bit higher so that it looks clean and it doesn't show off more than you really want it to. Or you could just wear a high collar shirt if that makes you more comfortable, or you can even wear a button-up shirt kind of similar to the guys. But again, you want to make sure that these colors stay neutral. So you want to make sure that you're wearing like a white, a light gray, a light blue. I guess you could wear like a light purple, but I would just be very careful on color. Again, I wouldn't wear like a bright red, bright green. I wouldn't probably wear a bright yellow either. You want to just keep the colors like very cool and very simple and basic. If you do decide to wear a dress underneath your blazer instead, then that's also appropriate, but just make sure that your dress or your skirt suit is the appropriate length. So this is normally going down to your knees or almost to your knees, right? You want to make sure that if you are blessed in the back, that you are actually making sure that you have an appropriate length for yourself, because I know not everything is a one size fits all. Sometimes it varies on the length. So you probably want to try it on before just to make sure that it looks appropriate, especially when you sit down, so that you are comfortable and also you look appropriate as well. But that's normally what you want to do. If you want to wear pantyhose or some kind of stockings underneath, that's completely up to you. I wouldn't say that's a requirement today as much as it used to be in the past, but you can just wear flesh colored pantyhose or tights, or you can also wear black if you want it to match your black suit or your black dress that you may be wearing. That said, ladies, again, as far as the blouses, as far as the pants, your suit, etc., we're avoiding the patterns. We're not trying to do anything crazy. This is not a fashion show. So I've gone to career fairs where I cared more about what I looked like and what I was wearing than the actual content I was talking to people. And that's totally backwards. You want to make sure that you're focused more on that. We're not going to talk about that today, but it doesn't have to be a fashion show. It's okay if you're a little bit boring, because at the end of the day, you're trying to get a job. You're not trying to book a gig as a model. So with that said, you don't have to have all the frilly stuff, all the glitter, all the sparkle, all the patterns, etc. I actually recommend that you keep that at home. I see a lot of people wearing like the patterned pants to an interview, and I don't think that is exactly appropriate, right? I think that you need to be wearing like a black or a neutral colored pants when you go into the interview. Same thing with your dress and your shirt. You want to avoid all the different different jewels and beadings, etc. on there. It's okay to be cute, but to keep it very, very simple. We don't want to outdo it. We don't want to be over the top. So make sure that you guys are keeping it very simple and basic again when it comes to that. As far as your accessories, it's going to be very similar to the men. So again, we're wearing studs. We're not wearing a lot of dangly earrings. This is going to be the less than a quarter size. And this is also going to be usually like a pearl, a diamond, stud, etc. As far as jewelry, again, you want to make sure that it's very simple and basic. We're not wearing anything too gaudy or over the top. It can just be a very simple necklace, and also same thing with simple bracelets and watches as well if you want to even wear one at all. So makeup and nails, again, we're keeping it very basic. We probably don't want to have a lot of color and all that as far as mascara and eyeliner goes. We just want to keep it very natural look for the most part. Also want to bring up nails. One of my nails is broken, but that doesn't really matter. As far as your nails, I don't think color is going to be a big thing, but I would avoid having anything too crazy. So if you like to have really long nails, maybe this isn't the right time for you to have it this time. If you have an interview coming up, you can wear the long nails another time later if you'd like. But for the most part, I wear different colored nails. I wear different styles and patterns on my nails. I would probably recommend, if you can, maybe just keep it really simple or not have your nails done while you're interviewing. Avoid like the hot pinks, all the really bright colors, yellow, etc. And then after you get the job, you can wear more of the different colors and the things that you like within the professional setting and world when you're business casual. But maybe for the interviews upcoming, etc., you may just want to keep it really basic with like a nude, a French, or something like that. As far as shoes go, ladies, so you want to make sure that these are also staying simple. This is the word of the day, and these are very basic. So these are going to be normally like a black or a brown to match your outfit. You don't want this to be super flashy. If you do decide to wear heels, make sure that this is a professional pump, right? This isn't the stripper heels, right? You want to make sure that it's an appropriate length. So I would say maybe like 3 inches as the maximum. You don't want to really go much higher than that. You don't want a stiletto shoe when you are going out and interviewing. Also, ladies, you probably want to keep these as closed-toed shoes. You don't really need to have your toes open as far as interviews go. You want to keep it very simple and basic, like I said again. And also, if you prefer to wear a flat, that's perfectly okay. There's plenty of cute flats that are black or brown or whatever color you need, nude, that can match your outfit. I personally don't really wear heels much anymore when I go to interviews, etc., because I know that my feet are probably going to hurt from standing, especially if I go to some kind of career fair. So I just bring a simple flat and just call it a day. I used to think some reason that you had to wear heels, but you don't have to. So just keep it simple and make it easier on yourself. Alrighty, y'all, well, that's it for this video. Hopefully you learned something new. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you would like to learn more about different professional development related to your resume, elevator pitch, interviewing, negotiations, and so much more, make sure to check out the other videos I have on my channel and stay connected with me. But until then, y'all, happy job hunting, best of luck to you, and I will talk to you guys soon. Y'all take care and bye.